So this is very important to us. So here we have everything. So this is who will design this means. So who will design this?
Architect.
Data architect will do this. So yesterday we have discussed full load. Okay, so for full load we don't require any watermark table. So
Yes.
what is watermark table? Watermark table is nothing but so we have to fetch the data na, in incremental load. If you see, we have watermark column. So okay, so in incremental load only we have watermark column. Why we need watermark column in incremental load? Because so we need to fetch the data from so this date only. Okay, so first day what we are going to do, first day we will be loading everything, load everything. Okay, so load everything. Okay, so second day, second run. So second run, what we will do? So we will not load everything. So okay, so time. Okay, so day, time, and data. Okay, so first day. So first day means yesterday. Let's think that 6th November. So 6th November, first day, right? We will be loading everything. Load everything. Okay. So second run. So second run means so today, 7th run, 7th November, right? So what data we will fetch, guys? So are we loading?
It should be last modified date to
Yeah,
current modified date.
yeah. No, no, not current modified date. So from last modified date means 6th November to 7th November. Okay, what is the data between so 6th November, so yesterday date to current date? Okay, so not 7th November, we can call as current date. Okay, current date. Okay, if you run, so tomorrow and day after tomorrow, so let's say, so it is weekend, so we will be running third run on 10th November, let's say. So we are not running tomorrow and day after tomorrow, let's say 10th November.
7 November to
Yes. So what we
10th
need to do?
November.
So yeah, first what we need to do? First we need to fetch this date, what a modified date. Once pipeline runs, what we need to do? We need to update the date, right? So we
Yes,
need to update this modified date with what? Current date.
current date.
Okay, so we need to update this modified date with current date. So current date means on 6th November you are running. So what will be this updated date? 6th November will be the last modified date. Okay, so now when you are running this second run, so
7th November go to.
this one will be 6th November. Okay, so when you are running this one, second run, so what will be the time? You are running on the 7th November. So what it will do from 6th November to current date, it will fetch. So what will be the updated date of this one? Modified date?
7th November.
Okay, so on 10th November, so third run is 10th November. So what data it will fetch?
7th to
November
10th current date.
10th. So what will be the updated date?
10th.
10th now. Like this it will happen, guys. So this is incremental load. Okay. So this one we are going to implement now. So what we are doing? So we are implementing incremental load strategy. So how we are implementing incremental load strategy means, so on the first day, we will, on first day means, let's say, so yesterday you are running, the time is yesterday you are running. So you will load everything. And so what is watermark column? So we need watermark column whenever we implement incremental load, because so watermark column will have the modified date. This modified date is nothing but when you run the last pipeline. When you run the pipeline last, that time is nothing but last modified. So this we need to update. This last modified date we need to update with 6 November. Okay. So whenever you are running the second time, so second time means if we are running the pipeline for second time, so what data it will fetch? It will not fetch everything. So because what is the value of this last modified date? 6th November, right? So it is going to fetch the data from 6th November to current time. Okay, current time means current date, 7th November only. So whenever you run the pipeline, after running the pipeline, we need to update this watermark column with current date. So that is 7th November. And the third run, you are running the pipeline on 10th November, let's say. So whenever you are running the pipeline on 10th November, so what data it will fetch? What is the last modified date? 7th November. So today's date 10th. So it will fetch the data between 7 to 10. And so we need to update. Once you run the pipeline, immediately we need to update this last run. Okay, so that is 10th November. Like this we need to do. Okay, so this one we have to implement now. This one we have to implement now. So for this, guys, is it clear to everyone? And we need to copy the data from last modified date to current time. And immediately once we run the pipeline, we need to update this. Okay, that's what we are doing here. Okay, so let's, okay, here. So this full load yesterday we have discussed. Okay, so here what we are doing. So I will explain one more time. This is lookup table. So we are configuring it to where it is pointing to configuration file. So configuration file is nothing but this one. So we are iterating over each item, and so if it is full load, we have copied the data to destination. But today what we are going to do, so here if you open, so we are iterating over each item and we are finding the load type. What is the load type? Load type, if it is full load, so it will be copying the table 2. So it will be copying the table 2. So output path. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed that one. Today we are going to implement incremental load. So if it is not full load, what will be the other value? So here we have if condition, right?
Incremental load.
If it is not full load, the other value is incremental only. We don't have other thing. So no need to switch activity. If activity is sufficient, because we have 2 possibilities only, right? So if you have three possibilities like full load, incremental load, or any other load, we need to have switch case. But if condition is sufficient, because we have only 2 possibilities. So that's one. Now incremental. So in incremental, what I need to do first? First, I need to fetch the last modified. Last run date, right?
We need to add. Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah. So what was the pipeline last run date? That we need to fetch. And what we need to do next? First, we need to fetch the last modified rate, last pipeline run, and next, so we need to copy the data from last modified run time to current time, and then we need to update the modified time, isn't it? That's what we need to do, right? First, fetch the last run date and copy the data to desired location, and then update the modified date. Okay, so because when you run the pipeline next time, so it will take the today that pipeline last one pipeline run, right? So if you don't update, it, what happens? So it is going to fetch the data from 6th November to 7th again. So here also 6th November to 10th November. So again, okay, so that's why we need to update immediately. Once you run the pipeline, we need to update this. Okay, but Gopi, where you are updating? So which one will have this last modified run and all? Okay, so which one will have last modified? Because we need to create one table, right? So we need to create one table, and in that table we need to update this all. Okay, so because we are not maintaining last modified date and everything here, so where we will be doing? So we will be creating one delta table. So in Databricks, you will be creating one delta table that will be having the load details. What was the last load time and all? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so now I will be creating, so audit table I will be creating. Don't worry about all this, guys. I will be providing this everything to you. So don't worry about this. So first what I will be doing, I will be creating audit table. Gopi, why we are creating this audit.load logs table? So so what are the columns here? So if you see, so the columns, it has data source, table name, number of rows copied, watermark column name, load date. So it will be having, so these values. What is the data source? Hospital A or hospital B? What is the table name? So table name, encounters, providers, departments, we have, right? How many number of rows copied? Okay, so what? How many number of rows copied? Okay, so how you will get it? After copied, if you observe copy data activity, so you will be having one row like, so number of rows copied, number of rows written, number of rows read. Okay, like that you will be having, right? So that one also we can capture. Watermark column is nothing but, what is the watermark column? So if you see here, watermark column will be, okay, so I will show, don't worry, I will show. So watermark column is nothing but last modified date in every data. So let me open any file. Okay, so here desktop, training, project, here EMR data, EMR data sets, EMR data. Okay, so here if you open patient's data, so if you open this, so you will be having modified date in incremental load, you will be having modified date. So what is this modified date? Means when you, so when this data is last modified, that will be modified date. This is watermark column for us. So in patience is incremental load, it will be having modified date column. And transactions is also in transactions also you will be having modified date. So what this modified date will cover? So this modified date will tell us that okay, so this modified date will tell us this record modified on this date. Okay, so on first run we will be loading everything. On second run we will not load everything. We will check this last modified date is greater than or equal to November 6th or not. If it is greater than November 6th, then only we are going to copy this. Otherwise we won't copy. Okay, so if it is greater than or equal to November 6th, then only we are copying it to the desired location. Otherwise we don't copy. Okay, because we already have these records. On November 6th we loaded everything. Now if you are running the pipeline on November 7th, you are going to fetch the data from November 6th to November 7 only. If you are running the pipeline on November 10th, so if the last modified date is greater than or equal to November 7 and less than November 10th, then only you are fetching the data. So you won't fetch the data of all. Okay, so initially we will load everything. After that we will not load everything. So what was the last pipeline run to this run? So if the date is between this, then only we will fetch. Okay, so every incremental load file will be having modified date. That is watermark column for us. Okay, so yeah, so first we need to create this table. Okay, first let me truncate this. Let me truncate this table. So why we are can anyone tell me why we are creating this audit.load logs?
Because we need to do incremental load on the basis
for incremental load. So we should have load. What was the last load date we need to have, right? So to fetch this last pipeline runtime, that is nothing but load date. So load date will be having the last pipeline run. So we will be fetching the data from last load time to current time. Okay, so to maintain this, we are creating this. In real time also, we will be having this kind of tables only. So these are the columns, guys. So this audit.load logs will be having data source, table name, number of rows copied, watermark column name, and load date. It will be, it doesn't have anything now. So I think no need of this because this audit schema is already there. And now, so this table is already we have. Okay, so let me fetch the data. We will be not having anything because I truncated this table, right? So we will be not having anything. So no rows written because so I have truncated this table now. So that's why we don't have anything. Okay. So the columns are these: data source, table name, number of rows copied, watermark column, and load date. Now let's go. Okay. So now let's move to this incremental load strategy. First, what I need to do? So in incremental load, what I need to do? First, I need to load the what was the last modified date. Okay. So that I need to fetch, right? First, I need to before copying the data. First, I need to have what was the last modified date. From where I can get this last modified date from audit table. So load date will be giving us the last modified, last pipeline run date. Okay. So from where you will be having last pipeline run date in load time. Okay. So in load date, you will be having last this one. So yeah, first I need to, this one will be fetching last load time. Okay. So our last load date. First, we need to fetch the last load date and we need to copy the data from time greater than or equal to this to current time only. Okay. So yes. Here, so which data set I need to use? Which data set I need to use?
that parameterized generic.
No. Which data set? ADLS, SQL database, or which one?
I think it's a Databricks.
SQL DB.
No, guys. Where we having this load
Databricks.
date? We have
ADLS.
Yeah. So we need to connect. No. We need to connect to Azure Databricks Delta Lake, right? This is
Yes,
Delta table, right?
Yes, no.
What is this?
Databricks.
Delta table, right? So
Delta table.
Yeah. So we need to create. So we need to create Azure Databricks Delta Lake. So Azure Databricks Delta Lake means So this is delta table. It will be connecting to the delta table. Okay. So whenever you want to connect from ADF to Delta Lake, we need to use this. Okay. Continue. So this linked service. So okay, let me create new linked service, guys, because you don't know how to create now. So I will be creating 01. Okay, so I will be creating linked service. So linked, this is a little bit tricky. So okay, so we need to create Azure Databricks Delta Lake type linked service, because that is Azure Databricks Delta Lake is different service, right? That's what we need to create. Okay, so here subscription will be pay as you go. Databricks workspace will be DBX June 30. So that's what DBX June 30 is the this one. And so class. Okay, so we need access token, right? Gopi, from where you will get access token means, so here go to settings, developer, manage. Okay, so here if I click here, okay, so generate new token for what? To connect to ADF. Copy this, paste it here. Okay, so here if you see, so cluster, what will be the cluster? So how to get cluster, Gopi? So cluster will be, just click on this one. So here after cluster you will be having this name, this number, right? This will be your cluster ID. This will be my cluster ID. So once you, okay, now you can see DBX cluster. Once we enter that cluster, so the cluster name is DBX cluster, right? That you can see here. Okay, so test the connection. Bricks. So you can implement Data Factory. We can implement the same thing in Databricks also. So just only coding there will be using, that's it. Okay, so we need to load this. So what will be my database? So database, what is the database, guys? This one, database is nothing but this in Delta Lake. So what is our schema? Schema is nothing but Delta. So it will take so much time, guys. So I will enter what we say. So I will enter manually. So our this is audit, right? Database is audit, right? And the table name is load logs, right? Load under logs. You see here, what is our database name? We have two databases. One is default and audit. Which one we have used? Audit, right? So for creating
Audit,
the table, audit. So what is the table name? Load under logs.
Load under logs.
Okay, so load under logs. Okay. Load under logs is the table name. So now what we are doing now? So what we have did just, so we have from lookup table, we pointed, we using Azure Databricks Delta Lake data set, we pointed to this table, isn't it? So it is where it is pointing to, it is pointing to this table. Okay, so now from this table we have many columns. From this table we have many columns. Which column we want? Load date column we want. Okay, so this full load select. Okay, so I will explain what does it mean. Yeah, so it will take some time. Okay, so I will explain this one, guys. So here, what I am doing. So here, okay, so select. Forget about this. Select from. So forget about this shaded part. Select this column. So select this column from where? Select this column from. So audit.load logs. So select this one from audit.load logs means we are selecting this column data from where? Audit.load logs is nothing but Delta table. From Delta table, we are calling this this one. What column we are calling? Load date. So we have load date column, right? So here in load logs we have load date column. So we are calling that load date column. Okay. So which value we are taking? Maximum value. Can anyone say why we are taking maximum value of load date?
Because current last month.
Maximum of load date will be, so what? Recent time. What was the last recent pipeline run? So load date will be having the many, we are not truncating every day, right? It will be having all the dates, all pipeline runs it will be having. So
Every
what
day.
we want, maximum will give us the recent pipeline run. Okay. So if you have 7th November, 6th November, 5th November, 1st November, what will be the maximum of this 7th November, right? So 7th November means what was the recent pipeline run. Okay, so and we are casting. Why we are casting? Because if it is a string, we are casting it to so date time. Okay, so Gopi, this is what fetching the recent date from load date. Okay, so that column name will be date. Okay, so that column name will be okay. Cast maximum load. Okay, so I understood. Casting, we are casting it to what date type. Okay, we are casting. We are loading the. We are loading this. We are loading the load date and maximum value, and we are casting it to date. Okay, so what is this coalesce, Gopi? What is this coalesce? Okay, if you are running for the first time, so now do we have any data here? Now do we have any data here, guys, in sample
No.
data?
We
So
have
No,
null.
Gopi.
We
so
have
what
null.
does it mean? Coalesce function we will be using whenever this value is null. Whenever this value is null, we are giving the constant value to it. That is 1990 So old value, very old value we are giving, because so 1990 means last 100 years data we are going to fetch for the first time. So you understood why we have given this?
Because if there is starting we don't have data, so we will give 100 years
Yeah,
back.
last 100 years.
So
So more than 100 years, it is not possible, right? So any hospital, more than 100 years of data, they will not maintain. So that's why we are giving, we are fetching last 100 years of data for the first time. For the first time, we are fetching the last 100 years of data. So once we fetch the data, once we run this pipeline, after immediately we will be loading the load date, right? So now the date will be 7th November. So for second run, no problem. Only this is for first run. Whenever you are running it for the first time, so you will be not having load date. Now you can see we don't have any data of load date, right? So in that case, what we are doing using coalesce function, we are giving the constant value, that is 1990. Okay, so that value will be what? Last fetched date. Okay, so we are load date is renamed to what? Last fetched date. What will be the value? If it is having the value, maximum value will be last fetched date value. If it doesn't have any value, if it has null value, this value will be the last fetched date. So from which table? Here. So we will be writing the condition where data source equal to item dot data source. So here in the audit dot load logs also we have data source, right? So here audit dot load logs also we have data source. That should be equal to from our configuration file. We have this data source, right? Item dot data source. So it should be equal to this, and this table name must be matching to this. Table name must be matching to item dot table name. Because why, Gopi? Because you have in incremental load, we have encounters, patients, transaction. We have encounters, patient, transaction. We have hospital A, hospital B. Okay, so every time, so this process will be doing for six times, right? So hospital A 3 times, hospital B 3 times. Incremental is 3 tables we are having. So that's why we need to match whether it is hospital A or hospital B, whether it is encounters table or patients table or transactions. So we need to find, right? That's why we have given condition here. Okay, so it will be running for 6 times. So this pipeline, because we have 6 items, right? So it will be, this process will be for 6 times, and it is going to update 6 records every time. Every pipeline run, it is going to update 6 records. Clear?
sir, here table name equal to this empty string, no? Means what? Equal to three like columns we mentioned.
This one?
After yes.
That's what concat we are using, right? String. This is string value. Yesterday I have explained here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Gopi, that you told that only 6 record will update. So you have given example, or we have fixed the number of records?
now here we have only 6 tables, right? Incremental, hospital A3, hospital B3. That's why 6 times it will run.
Yeah. Got it.
This is nothing but 3 double quotes. It is nothing but string, na? String.
Okay.
Yeah, please, guys, you practice. Okay, so what you can do, you can use ChatGPT or other, but because it will take more time to explain everything. So you need to remove this three double quote. Three double quotes is nothing but string. Concat function will be concat. What it will be adding the string values. Okay, this everything is string. So this everything is string. If you see, so because it is enclosed within string. Okay, so what you are doing here, we have comma. Okay, so select coalesce. This you can you can use chat gpt and you can ask this what it is doing, so
Okay,
it will
sir.
give better answer. Okay, why it is taking this much time? This is audit. I don't know what happened to this. Okay, so here I have for other batch I have explained that I will be using. You know what to do, right, guys? So you know how to create data set and how to create linked service. I have shown now. Same. So we need to select database. We need to select other things. So I will show you. So here audit and load logs we have selected. That's it. Okay. So we need to use query. So what query we need to write? This query. So we have query, right? This query we need to write. Why? Because we need to have, we need to, what we want to fetch, we want to fetch last fetch date, right? Okay, so here this one. Okay, next what I need to do? Yes, now I have last fetched date. So I have last fetched date. Okay, so what I need to do now? Guys, please respond. What I need to do? I have to copy,
Copy
right?
data,
So from where to where? Last fetched date to current time I need to copy.
current time.
Okay, so this one, load data to branch. Okay, so what will be my source? What will be my source, guys?
Oh,
Source SQL.
Output.
SQL.
Yeah, SQL, right? Yes, SQL will be my this one. So what will be the database name?
That
Last modified.
Database name.
audit.
Audit.
Database name you will be getting from configuration file.
Data source.
From audit table, you will be getting only load date, not this. So from database means this one. So item dot database.
Hospital A, hospital B.
So we need to use query. So what will be the query? This one. I will explain, don't worry. So what will be my query? Okay, so select, okay, concat, you are using concat, select all the columns, okay, select all the columns, and along with this, so item dot data source as data source. Why we are adding this? Yesterday also I have discussed. Why we need this? So in group also I pasted now. So because from the data, from the Azure SQL database, we don't have whether this data from data source A, hospital A or hospital B, we don't have. So that's why. So I want to have that differentiation. So that's why I added this column. That column is item dot data source. Item dot data source means this one, hospital A or hospital B. Okay. So in from table we don't have, but in Parquet file we will be having, because from table I am calling. So from table I am selecting. So the data along with that all the columns, I am adding extra column as data source. That value will be either hospital A or hospital B. This one extra I explained. Okay, select all the columns along with data source. What will be the value? Item dot data source will be the value. From which table? Item dot table name. So every table. Item dot table name means every table. So every table means incremental only. Okay, so not full load, because full load path is different, right? Okay, so and where this is the condition where we are fetching the data from, so these tables we are fetching the data from these tables, but where last run time. Okay, so activity, this is what, okay, 1 minute guys. So this activity is different, right? This activity name is this. Okay, so where item dot watermark means this one, right? Item dot watermark means modified date. So item dot watermark means modified date. We have modified date column, right? So in every data, we have modified date. If you see, guys, item dot watermark is nothing but what? Item dot watermark is nothing but modified date. So modified date greater than or equal to activity dot fetching last load date. So what does it mean? So where item dot watermark means modified date greater than or equal to this activity dot output dot first row last fetch date. So last fetch date, this value greater than or equal to modified date greater than or equal to last fetch date. So this means, so last fetch date means last pipeline run. This modified date should be greater than or equal to, so last pipeline run time. Okay, so item dot watermark means what, guys? Item dot watermark means what? Modified date.
Modified date.
Modified date.
Yeah, from table you have this, right? From table you have modified date. Modified date greater than or equal to. So modified date greater than or equal to what? So this activity fetching last load date means this activity output from first row. What you are fetching? Last fetch date. What will be the last fetch date? Last pipeline run, right? So you are fetching the data from last pipeline run only, not everything. That is incremental load. Got it?
Yes.
So you are copying the data from table. Which data you are copying? So you are copying the data which modified date greater than or equal to last pipeline run. So last pipeline run means if you run yesterday from 6th November to 7th November only. That is incremental load. Got it? So
Yes,
that's why we have this activity, right? This activity from this activity, what value we want? Last fetch date. So last fetch date we have, right? So last fetch date. That value we are giving in the copy data activity. If last modified date means this one. If modified date greater than or equal to last fetch date, only that data only fetch it. Now what I need to do? Sync. Where will be my sync?
Parquet. ADLS.
Yeah, generic Parquet. What will be this folder name?
Braun.
Folder name.
Folder name hospital A or hospital B. So it should be
Yeah, hospital A or hospital B, right? So where we have the target path, right? Item
target path. Yes. Item dot.
What will be this file name?
File name is nothing but it's a that table name.
Not table name. Second
Means
part
that
of
we need to split second column, second one.
Okay, so if you see item dot table name will be what? Item dot table name will be this one, dbo dot encounters, dbo dot pensions, but I don't want this dbo. That's why I am splitting it and I am extracting only encounters, means second index. Okay, so second index is nothing but index 1. First index is 0, second index is 1. Good, so we are good, right? So now we have fetched the last pipeline runtime and we have copied the data from tables to this, and we have added extra column, that is data source, and along with this we have applied one condition. What is the condition? So if the last modified date, modified date from every column is greater than or equal to last fetched date. So that's what we did. Now what I need to do? So we have fetched the data from last pipeline run to current time. So now what I have to do? I need to update this load time, right? So now you run the pipeline. So now you need to update this modified last fetched date, right? So load date we need to modify in audit table. Why?
Yes.
If you don't update, so if you run for the next time, what date it is going to fetch? Again 6th November. But if I run tomorrow, so if I run tomorrow this pipeline, now I am running this pipeline. So if I run tomorrow, so what if you don't have updated? Okay, so I already explained. So why we should have this updated? Why we need to update it, guys?
Because in next run it will update that modified date.
If you don't update, what it will do? So today 6th November. If you don't update, tomorrow also 6th November. If you don't update again on 10th November also it is 6th November. That's why whenever you run this, so we need to update it. We need to update the load date. Okay. So again we can take lookup table. lookup activity. So this one is for what? Updating load time. Okay, so I want to update load time, right? So this one I already created, updating last runtime. Okay, so don't worry. This is pointing to again audit.load logs only. So same pipeline, same delta table. So query will be changed. So query will be changed. What is the query? Okay, so what will be the query? Gopi means this. I will explain. Don't worry. What will be the query? So if you see, so we are inserting into this delta table. We are inserting into delta table. So what are the columns? Data source, table name, number of rows copied, watermark column, load date. These are the columns, right, in audit table. So if you see audit table, these are the columns. So values. So what will be these values? So what will be the data source? What will be the data source in what will be the
Data source.
Yeah,
Awesome.
item.data source will be the data source. What will be the table name?
That table
Item dot table
DOB.
name. Item dot table name will be table name. So what will be the number of rows copied? So number of rows copied will be the from copy data we have, right? From copy data you will get. So in copy data in output you will be having how many rows read, how many rows copied. That will you will be having that parameter we have. So what will be this watermark column? Watermark column is nothing but modified date, right? So item dot watermark will be the modified this one. Okay, so what will be the load date? What will be the load date? Load date.
Current timestamp.
Latest.
So just now we ran the pipeline.
Current time.
Yeah, current time will be load date.
Whatever the latest one that.
Yes. What is the latest one? Current time.
Current.
So is it clear to everyone?
Yes,
Able to
Gopi.
understand?
Yeah, fully understood.
I am sure no one will explain this because just 3 activities I took 1 hour. So I don't know what I am doing. Okay, so now everything is
Gopi.
completed, guys. Full load and incremental. Yeah.
It
Yes.
is taking time, but we are fully understood, so it is helpful for our interviewer now.
Yes.